Okay, coming into question number 3, which is the most important question. We have this system. We have to gather it in this way. Okay, so this is the blue one, the yellow part, the green screw, this bar with this balls. Okay, and we have these screws. So in these questions, you will find that it has two parts. The part number 1 is to gather these 6 or 7 parts together. The section number 2, which is the we have to start with, is he will give you some screws or some nuts, for example, or some washers, small parts. You have to look it up and you find it out from the toolbox of the program, and you have to add it to the folder. Okay, so you have to find these parts, you have to search about these parts and find it, and you have to add it again to the folder. So this is the folder of class problem number 3. First I have to change the name of it. 1 2 3 4 5 6 your ID number, university number, underscore your problem number 3. Okay, now inside this part you will find all the parts, and we have to add three parts from the toolbox, which is the screws. So all the questions from now on has you to add these parts. For example, in question number 4, you will find in the downs place we have 2 screws. You have to find it from the toolbox, and 2 nuts, and you have to find it in the toolbox and add it to the folder, and so on. In this question we have 2 parts, 2 mechanical parts. We have here 1, and we have here 1 in this question. We have 1, and so on. So these questions have two parts. The first one, you have to find these from the toolbox. The second one, gather all these parts together. Now let's do the question number 3. How can I find these mechanical parts from the toolbox? Very easy. Okay, open the SolidWorks. Okay, close all the, don't save. Okay, I will close all the previous problems or previous parts that's related to question number 1. Make it empty like this. Now let's start with this mechanical screw. Okay, how can I find the toolbox? Very easy. If you open the SolidWorks, you will find in the right a bar. Go to the library, click on the library, then we have here toolbox. Click on the toolbox, then click on add in now. Add in now. I want to add the toolbox for the SolidWorks. Okay, now you will find we have some changes here. Okay, and if you go again to the toolbox, the arrow here, okay, you will find many standards. We have the American standards, we have the Australian standards, we have the British standard, Canadian standard, Germany, China, India, the ISO. The ISO use the meter, the centimeter, and kilometer, that's all. And the Japanese standard, Korean standard, and so on. So every mechanical part has to be in a standard. Okay, how can I find this standard? To look this part up. How can I find it? You will find it in the middle of the. So you have first to start with the last, the lower part, the lower line. In this line, if you go to the middle, you will find the standard of this screw. So what is the standard of this screw? Is related to any of these countries. You will find it's DIN, which means that this screw is related to Germany. So din, D-I-N, means it's related to Germany. Sometimes it's not din. It's, for example, BSI. BSI means British. Sometimes it's AS, which is Australian. Sometimes it's China, GB. So you have to look in the middle, you will find that, okay? But don't say that, oh, it's EN, which means it's England. No. England standard means BSI, not EN, okay? So you have to, the American is ANSI. The American standard is ANSI, ANSI, okay? So you have to find the kind of this screw. In this case, we have Germany, okay? It's in Germany, okay? And I believe most of the parts in this question are Germany, DIN, din, okay? Also in the question number 4, okay? If you will find din, you'll find din. So most or all of them are from Germany, but it doesn't mean that in the exam you will have always din. Maybe it's an Australian, maybe it's ANSI, American. So you have to check that out, okay? So here I believe all the parts are in din. But be careful in the exam. Maybe it's not din. It will be maybe from Australia, from China, from India, okay? So you will find it in the middle of the line. You will find the kind of this mechanical part. So it's Germany for this question. We have it here, and it's Germany. So click on the arrow related to the Germany. Now, what's the kind of this mechanical part? Is it a screw or a bolt? Is it a bearing, nut, washer? So the most important parts are the bolt and screw, or the nuts. We close the bars, bolts and screw by nuts, or the washer also, okay? These are the most important part, the bolts, the nuts, and the washers. So in this case we have a bolt, bolt and screw. We have to click on the bolt and screw, so click the arrow. Now so we in the middle you find it, it's Germany. Then we choose its bolt. Now the third question, the third thing is to go letter by letter. So go to find the name slotted. Do we have any slotted here? Cross, hex. Oh yeah, we have slotted. So click on slotted. Okay. If you find the first one, okay. If it's not, go to the second name and find it out. If it's not, go to the third name. Okay. So fortunately, we find it from the first name. Now, after you go and you find it from the first name, now go to the number directly. So what is the number? 2010, no. 404, no. Here 1207, no. 2009, is it? Yes, the same number, yes. So read the letter by letter. Slotted, CTSK, flathead, din, and 2009. Yeah, this is the screw. Now when you find it, what should I do? Right click and click on create part. Create part. Now after we finished from the second line, so we always start with the second line, not the first line. We start always from the second line, the lower line, then we go up. Now after we create the part, you have to go to the first line. So what is the size of this screw? The size is M10. We have M10, we have M3, 4, 5, 6. So we have to click on M10. Now what is the length of this screw? The length is 40. And what is the thread? Is the thread is along the length, or is it on the? Sometimes it's for example, you have some choices like 40, 20. For example, it'll give you 20, which means that the thread will be up to the middle of the screw, and then it will be flat. No thread. Okay, so in this case the thread is 40. It's along the screw. So M10, the length is 40, the thread length is 40, and we have the thread display. He said it's S. We have three types of thread display. Simplified, which means that we don't show you the thread, or charismatic, which means that the thread it's like waves, smooth, as you can see, or let's say simplified. You can see that the symbol is N, which is S here. Okay, charismatic. The charismatic, the symbol is C, while it's S here. So it's not charismatic. It's not simplified. It's not N. It's not C. So it's schematic. Schematic means that I want to show you the thread. I want to show you this thread. Okay, this teeth or tooth. Okay, so we have to choose schematic, which means that I want to show my thread in a very sharp way. So finally you have to go through checking the name. Den EN ISO 2009, the M10 40S. 40S means that the thread are shown. Okay, then click on check. Okay, now what should I do? I have to save it. File, save as, go to the desktop, go to class work number 10, go to problem number 3, and save it here. Save it with the same name in this folder. Okay. Okay, nice. After that you have to close it. In the next video, let's do this part together. So let's do that in the next part. Okay, in the question video number 2. Okay, thank you very much.